Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Pentium 4 Recapathon, where today we will be dealing with this board right here. I didn't know if there was gonna be a part 5. I originally planned 5 of these. Now, there, you can see all 5 fingers. But, it was looking more and more like it wasn't gonna work out that way, thanks to Dell's stupid, crappy engineering. So, this board is a Dell Dimension 8300 board, which is a nicely designed case, as it would seem anyway. Pretty much all the parts in it are easy to remove, and this board just needed a simple fix, at this point in the series anyway. VRM caps are going bad. This board still boots up to XP, currently. It's just a little slow, slower than it should be anyway, and it's showing some very minor instabilities. Like sometimes it'll lock up, it'll take a little extra time on the BIOS, just the beginning signs of failure. So I'm catching this one before it has a chance to get any worse, but all of these guys are going bad. So, why did I not think there would be a part 5? The board slides out easily because it's attached to this easy remove metal plate thing, and the problem is it was secured to this metal plate because obviously there's no way to get to the solder joints here, so it was secured to the metal plate with headless screws. I'll show you one of them. Here is one of them. You can see there's no head, no Phillips, no nothing. You just have to use a socket wrench. Only problem is the socket wrenches, or the socket wrench bits in my iFixit kit, were all too small, and the ones in my, well, not my, but the house's toolbox, just the normal toolbox, were all too big, so I had to use an adjustable wrench instead. Well, instead what happened is one of my friends told me he had an adjustable socket wrench. So me not knowing a lot about these tools was like, okay, and then a week later he finally got it to me to let me borrow. Turns out it's just an adjustable wrench, which worked fine, but I think we have one of those, so I guess I didn't need to wait a week. But that just shows how little I know about these tools. The next problem, though, is once I got all those out, I had to deal with the heat sink. Well, rather the plastic plate for it, for the CPU. It was secured on, not with screws, but with these nylon pegs, which were some of the most annoying things ever. First of all, I couldn't figure out how to get them out. I had to ask the 68K MLA forum because I knew there was someone who would have dealt with these before. And it turns out you have to push this peg through really hard. You have to push, like, uncomfortably hard. Like, hard enough where I think you'd just be breaking it with a flathead screwdriver. And then it pops out. And then you have to grab these ends of the remaining piece with pliers, press them in, and then push really hard, and they'll just pop out. And both of those steps took me some time to figure out, but I finally got it separated, meaning that we can do what should hopefully be a simple repair. So I've got the desoldering pump, I've got the board, my iron, and of course some new caps. These are 820 microfarad, 6.3 volts. I have plenty of these. And hopefully we've got a newly revitalized board, at least by the time we're done. So we have the middle 6 of these solder joints, so there's 2 on each end that I do not want to remove. Oh, and that's good. A few of these have bent leads, but they're all the 2 on each end, which are the 2 I don't need to deal with. It's these middle 6. So that's good. These should come out easy. Let me make sure. I don't think my Hacko is cleared. No. Well, it sort of is. It's not jammed up at the end, which is good. I might have cleaned this out before I stopped using it last, but it's always important to make sure it's been cleaned really well, because it doesn't work as efficiently when you don't. And on these boards where you're working with giant ground Planius Maximus here, you need as much efficiency as you can get from one of these, and this board could pose some serious, like, pain. Like, this could be a real pain to do. You never really know how painful one of these recaps is going to be until you've gone and done it, so we'll just have to go and do it and see how it goes. My hand slipped. That's, on the bright side, that is the first time I've burned my hand this entire time. Which I'd say is a pretty good record considering how much I've used of this thing. So there we go. That's what happens if you accidentally, if your hand slips and you touch the tip of one of these. Don't do what I just did. Luckily it doesn't hurt. We're just gonna continue. Just pretend you didn't see that. I promise it hasn't happened before. I've burned my hand on a soldering iron before, but that's the first time it's happened on recording, at least during this series. So I'm gonna start with this guy. I'm gonna get to these two last because they have traces nearby, and if I wreck one of these traces, well, are they traces though? I don't see any place where they connect to. I'm not sure what those are, but point is I want to avoid damaging them. So we're gonna start with this cap. And the way I'm gonna try to do this at first, okay, is just apply. Oh, I don't have my fan on yet. Gotta turn the fan on. Let's just apply some fresh solder to that. And then I'm gonna be, my hand is gonna block this probably. Actually, I can use my left hand if I try hard enough. Okay. Now I could just pull the lead out at this point once the solder is melted, but that makes it a much bigger pain to get the new one in, so we're going to try this approach first. So I'm just going to leave it on. I'm going to count 7 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, that's not clear. Alright. I'm gonna try this. I've tried it the easy way. Now we're gonna try it the hard way. Man, that cap's heating up good. Oh, it's off screen. No. I'm not gonna be able to touch it for much longer. Oh, God. Oh, it's burning me. Well, it's not literally burning me, but it's like burning hot. Okay. Come on. Okay. So, you may say, well, why is that not the easy way? Because look, in about 15 seconds flat, we have this thing out. Well, the holes aren't clear. Now, it's possible that I'll be able to get the holes clear. But the issue then is getting the new one in is very challenging. So let me demo real quick what it takes. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to get these holes clear. First, I'm going to analyze the other side of the board. And good. It came out pretty clean on a past board that I've tried this on in part 3. Bits of solder got on the top of the board, and that just made it so that those parts didn't melt and they were holding things in place. So I don't have to deal with that yet, at least. I got lucky on that one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply fresh solder here and just pretend like we're desoldering something when in reality we're not. And we're just trying to get the hole clear. So I'm going to use my right hand for this now, which is going to probably block the camera, but it's what I need to do in order to get the best precision here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I think I got it clear, but the problem is solder that was left around the desoldering pump refilled the hole as soon as I lifted it up. So we're going to try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think the same thing happened there. Let's try the other hole, although I found the circular holes go and clear easier than the square holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The same thing happened, but what I'm hoping is I've sucked the solder out far enough it looks like I may have, that I could just stick the replacement capacitor in, heat up each lead, and get it through. This method's a lot harder than if I simply got the holes clear, but it should work. So I'm going to get an 820 microfarad, 6.3 volt cap, and we're going to try that. And here we go. What manufacturer are these? I don't think these are Nichis. Well, they're 105 degree caps. Actually, these are Nichicons. And they're 105 degree caps. Ow! Which, to quote some YouTuber I've seen who's apparently known for these old desktops, even though I've only seen one of his videos, I'm not sure. I saw him mention on another guy's channel, I was looking for ways to get this board out. Some guy replaced these caps, and he didn't show how to get these stupid nylon pegs out, and that's why I was watching him. But I forget his name, but I'll put it up on screen now. The higher temperature caps are good due to being right next to the blast furnace of a Pentium 4. Now, my pliers are over in a different part of the room. Let's just cut the leads here, relatively short. You'd want to do this after soldering if the holes were clear, but since they're not, I'm just going to do it beforehand. Because next what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make sure the polarity is correct and get it placed in place. And that hole's doing well. So when I move it this way, it doesn't quite line up. I'm going to bend that a bit. And we'll see if I get that in that hole. That lines up perfectly. Okay. I'm going to use a bit of tape to hold it in place. It won't do it well, but it'll do it well enough. At least that's my hope. Okay, it's staying in place. Oh, I moved my camera. It's hard to do this all. Alright. Now I just used the desoldering pump to heat up one of the legs, or one of the points. Okay, you can see this. Try multiple. The idea is eventually heats up enough that one of these leads goes in, but that's not happening, so I think I just don't have it aligned well enough. In situations like this, I might have to take it off screen and lean the board against my chest, which I don't like doing because it leads to more solder fumes. But sometimes to get that initial one through, that's what I have to do, so I'm going to do that now, because I can see it better when it's sideways. What I think's going on here is that the Hacko's clogged. So the problem is unclogging it is more difficult than you'd think. So I gotta go eat dinner now, but I'll be back after to continue work on this board, and we'll get it. It just might take ages, depending on how cooperative the Hacko wants to be. Alright, here's a quick update. Things are going good. Slow, but good. I haven't been time-lapsing this because I had a bit at the beginning where I just failed to get any in, so I played that. But I'm just kind of sick of time-lapsing these. You can see how it's going. I've got 3 in, and they're not in flush, and I'm not going to get them in flush, and that's because I wasn't able to get the holes clear. This board has been putting up a huge fight. And what I've had to do instead is I had to do the normal technique where I just heated each leg up and pulled it out to get the old cap out. And that got all the old caps out. You can see how mangled the legs get on them. And yes, I am wearing pajamas. It's late at night. Deal with it. There's the old one. And then the new ones, I had to do the same. Press it up against the point. Heat the leg up, push the cap in, repeat, repeat, repeat until it's in good enough. So don't knock one of these or it'll definitely bend because it's not sitting flush like these original ones. but if it's making connection, then it'll work. So I just have to get 3 more installed, and then we'll be ready to test and see if the system still works. So I'm going to get back to that. Alright, the board is done, just with one snag. I had to solder this one in from the top. It has continuity, it should work. It's just going to look ugly and be more fragile, because I just couldn't get this hole clear or even melted so I could press one through like I had to do with the rest of these. Nonetheless, let's get it reassembled. Let's plug it in, see if it starts. It works. Oh. Oh god. Okay. A bit of a sour victory here because it works, but I just cracked my phone screen. I cannot believe this. Oh my god. I literally just cracked my phone screen. Good thing I'm upgrading soon. Oh man. On the bright side of things, the computer is working. Oh, that's a hollow victory. Thank you all for watching. So yes, of course, this was all recorded months ago on my old phone, but here was the damage. This crack right here, this in the corner. I caught it live on film. Now this thing is in really bad condition otherwise too, and I've upgraded since then, but yep, I'm pretty proud of myself there for managing to capture that on video. But yep, thank you for watching. I know these Pentium 4 Recapathon videos haven't gotten a lot of views, but I really enjoy making them. And I think they're decent videos. But anyways, I'm gonna make what I enjoy making. I'm not all about chasing views. Otherwise, I just do jailbreak videos and that's it. But anyways, I'll see everyone later. Have a good day. Thank you for watching this series if you've seen the other parts, and see y'all next time. Bye.